Hi there everyone, in today's video let's talk about GoPro Hero 8 Black, which is currently the flagship camera of the GoPro, and let's talk about some of the new features as well as the new design. Alright, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tomasz Nowacki and I do videos about GoPro, some tips, tutorials, and once in a while some travel videos as well. So if you like this type of content, consider subscribing as I'm going to post more videos about GoPro Hero 8 Black, and hit that notification button so you don't miss anything in the future. So first of all, let's take a look what we have inside the box. GoPro Hero 8 Black has a new design. They completely redesigned the whole mounting mechanism. Now you no longer need a special frame that you have to put your camera inside of it. My biggest problem with the Hero 8 Black is that actually the lens is irreplaceable, so if in any case you scratch it or break it in somehow, you either have to send it back to GoPro if you have a GoPro Plus subscription, or you are basically on your own, unless you perhaps maybe consider buying something like a dive housing for it. I really like the idea that GoPro got rid of all the unnecessary slots, like at the bottom and also around the lens. Now you only have one access to your camera, which is the battery slot compartment, which gives you access to SD card, charging port, and the battery itself. On top of that, there is only one way for the water to get in. So if you take proper care of it and you maintain it well, clean of all the debris, your camera gonna be still waterproof. In the previous cameras, you had too many access points for the water to actually get leak. Also, this battery door is replaceable, so if it happens that for any reason you break it or lose it, you can easily buy it on GoPro website, which costs around $20. Some of you may wonder whether the battery is compatible from all the GoPros. Yes, it is compatible. However, GoPro claims that in certain situations, just because of the Hypersmooth 2.0, GoPro Hero 8 Black is not gonna be working as efficiently as dedicated battery. So by redesigning some small things like the battery slot that's now on the side, you are now able to actually have your camera mounted on a, for example, tripod, do a time lapse, and you can still charge your camera while being on a mounted. You can swap your battery, you don't have to unscrew it, take it out of the frame and put it back together. It was, in the past it was such a big issue with it, you had to constantly do it over and over again. Hero 8 Black comes with 3 microphones, and one of them, the one that's actually below the lens, is a shotgun microphone. But if you are looking for even better audio, then you should go with media modes that are available on GoPro website around December, from what I know. If you are into vlogging and you want to record your experience and talk to the camera more, it's definitely something for you to check it out. Again, Hero 8 Black is waterproof up to 10 meters, and if you want to go any deeper, you can always buy a protective housing that's gonna allow you to go for up to 60 meters deep, and it's gonna give your camera that extra bit of protection in case you, for example, drop it or gonna do some activities that may put your camera in harm's way. But let's talk about Hypersmooth 2.0. Just the idea that you can have Hypersmooth enabled across all the resolutions and all of the frame rates is just insane. I just can't imagine how useful that's gonna be. In the past with for example Hero 7 or Hero 6, when you were trying to record something in 1080 240 frames per second or 2.7K 120 frames per second, you were basically recording without any stabilization whatsoever, and that was a bummer. Now with Hero 8 Black you can actually record across all the resolutions and frame rates and still have Hypersmooth on. So there are basically three types of Hypersmooth: on, high and boost. And all of them gonna give you perfect stabilization. With the Hero 8 Black they introduced something called digital lenses. However, it's a little bit of a gimmick because you always had access to field of view. It was called field of view in the past. So you could change between, for example, wide, super view, linear. And now with the Hero 8 Black they came back to actually narrow field of view. So if you are into that, then it's something for you. However, I strongly recommend to record in 4K rather than narrow. Oh, and by the way, Hero 8 Black has 4K linear. Oh, this is so awesome, guys! You can now record cinematic videos with Hypersmooth enabled, and it's gonna be in linear field of view. It's amazing! I cannot wait to test it out. Another new feature with the Hero 8 Black, you have ability to record in 100 megabits per second. This is insane. If you want to record 4K or 2.7K and you're gonna use Heft's codec, then assuming you're gonna edit your video in post-production process, this is gonna give you that extra room to play with your video. 100 megabytes per second is only available for 4K and 2.7K. Another great feature is that with the Hero 8 Black they introduced night lapse video mode. So this is great if you are into time lapses, and now you can do it with longer exposures, etc. And in the past, with Hero 7 or 6 and other GoPros, you had basically to take like 100 of photos, put them back into some kind of software, put it all together, and then you could export as a final video. Now it's a matter of actually seconds because it's saved already within the camera. Also, if you are more into time lapses, with normal time-lapse video mode and time-lapse photo mode, they introduced some extra time to play with. So if you want to record a longer time-lapse, like over a day or maybe like a week, you now have the ability to take a photo or video every 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 and 60 minutes as well. Also with the Hero 8 Black you have the grid line, which gonna help you to actually have a better shot by aligning your camera, for example, with the horizon level or with some lines that are, or curves of the buildings. So it's basically gonna help you out to take a better shot, better picture or video, etc. Timewarp 2.0 now has ProTune. And this is amazing because now you can fully control your ISO, your white balance, and perhaps maybe sharpness. And this is great because with Hero 7 Black you actually didn't have that much control over it, so you were basically forced to work with what you get straight out of the camera. And now it also offers you to actually have auto speed. So if you are not entirely sure whether you want to record in times 30, times 10 or times 5, you can just set it to auto and the camera gonna do a decent job by itself. Also, for those of you who love taking photos with your GoPro, now Hero 8 Black can take raw photos with burst mode, and it's gonna be great if you want to take some awesome photos while being in the action. And actually another new feature which is kind of nice to actually have is the presets that you can, for example, if you have some specific settings and you don't want to change it every single time. For example, you want to record something cinematic on one day and you want to record something action-based, you can save your own presets. For example, you can have 4K 60 for action, but you want to have some smooth cinematic B-roll and you want to go for 2.7K 120 frames per second. So all you have to do is just change one of the presets that you're interested with or create your entirely new one. And if you still want to change something, GoPro Hero 8 Black now has shortcuts, and if you want to have quick access to, for example, white balance, sharpness, or EV compensation, you can just set it up in the ProTune. Alright, thank you guys for watching. I hope this video was informative for you, you learned something, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, stay tuned for more content, hit that notification button if you want to see something more of it, and comment if you like it, because it's gonna really help to improve my channel, give some positive feedback, perhaps you want to see something, some tutorial tips as well. Alright, so see you guys in the next one.